What's going on, Dodgers Nation? On this edition of the 3 Up 3 Down podcast, I'm asking the question whether or not Dave Roberts is overworking starter Tony Gonsolin. Welcome back to the 3 Up 3 Down podcast. My name is Eric Yulo, your host for this Dodgers Nation production. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. That is at EEULAU. If you haven't already, you got to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. All the incredible content, everything you need to know about your favorite baseball team. Turn those notifications. You'll be happy you did. In this episode, I'm talking about whether or not manager Dave Roberts is overworking Tony Gonsolin. Tony Gonsolin was at his best on Friday night against the Royals, pushed a no-hitter in the 7th inning, got pulled with 1 earned run, 6 2/3. It was another fantastic outing for the all-star pitcher. But after the game, when asked about Tony Gonsolin's workload, all of the innings he's piled up, how he's probably going to blow by his career high professionally for innings pitched, Roberts had some interesting comments that I think deserve discussion. Roberts said he knows where he's at. He knows this is uncharted territory, but he's doing everything he can to stay strong and healthy. I want him to go as hard as he can, as long as he can. And then, when asked about the workload affecting Tony Gonsolin, thinking about Walker Buehler last year, thinking about Julio Urias, that was a little bit different. We'll get into that in a second. Dave Roberts had this to say. I think so. I don't see why not. I'm sure he's not the only guy in postseason history that surpassed their previous innings totals. I know there's going to be adrenaline built in. He's in the prime of his career. He's taking care of himself. So I don't see why he can't keep this going. I think last year with Walker Buehler and Julio Urias, just because of Clayton Kershaw missing time with injury, Dustin May going down with Tommy John, the whole Trevor Bauer situation, they really had to push Julio Urias and Walker Buehler in the regular season, and they were chasing the Giants. Both Urias and Buehler posted career highs in innings pitched in 2021, and both of them were absolutely gassed by the playoffs. So it begs the question, is Dave Roberts making the same mistake he made with Julio Urias and Walker Buehler in 2021 with Tony Gonsolin in 2022? Like we talked about, some of that was out of necessity. But I got to give credit to my coworker Brooke Smith, who's been all over the Tony Gonsolin innings thing, because it's a very legit concern. Because if you look at his stats, and they're incredible stats, 2.24 ERA, made an all-star team this year, leads the NL in WHIP right now with a .88, leads the NL in wins at 14-1 for all you guys that like wins. Not a big win guy myself, but that's a conversation for a different podcast. But you start and you move over to that innings column, and it's a little startling. He's already thrown more innings this year, 116 1/3, than he did in 2020 and 2021 combined. That was 102 1/3. Now, some of that, 2020 and 2021, is injuries in 2021, and then the COVID-shortened season, right? So you can only log so many innings in a 60-game season. I get that. But it's still a ton of work. Now, he did throw 128 innings in the minors in 2018, but that's a little different than the major leagues. And I think the way the Dodgers can avoid some of this and reduce his workload a little bit is you do have Dustin May coming back. You hopefully have Clayton Kershaw coming back in the next couple of weeks, and you can use those guys. You got a 6-man rotation running there. You can really start spacing out some starts. Give those guys the extra day. Give those guys a blow when they need to. Because these games right now, yes, they're important. Yes, they want the number 1 seed in the NL, but you absolutely have to do everything you can if you're the Dodgers to ensure that you have a starting staff that's fit for the playoffs, that's ready, that has plenty of gas in the tank to make the long drive to their second World Series championship in 3 years. That is much more important than chasing anything else, even the franchise wins record, although that would be great. Don't really care. Are they going to win the World Series? And a big piece of that, as we all know, is pitching. Starting pitching. It cannot be 2021 again when you have Tony Gonsolin just struggling and putting up 3-inning starts in the playoffs. He has the stuff. He has all the talent in the world. I've been on record. I love Tony Gonsolin. I said he could be a top 25 starting pitcher. He has the talent to do that at some point in his career. And by all accounts, it looks like that year is this year. Look it up. Check the tape. I said it. But I would rather they take their foot off the gas just a little bit. And if you look at it by the numbers, conservatively, let's say they space it out a little bit, he makes 8 more starts. Right now he's averaging 5 2/3 innings per start. That would bring him up to 161 innings. That is more than 2019, 2020, and 2021 combined for Tony Gonsolin. And that is why the Dodgers need to be very careful with overworking him. I'm not saying skip his starts. I'm just saying if it's 4 or 5 innings and he gets out of there, that is a worthwhile endeavor. That is a worthwhile mechanism to utilize to ensure that Tony Gonsolin is healthy for the playoffs. Now, drop in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Is Dave Roberts mishandling Tony Gonsolin? Should they take the foot off the gas just a little bit when it comes to the length of his starts to ensure that he's ready for October? Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.